Hey everybody, I'm the HappyCabbie. I just came out of the shower. Ooh, I'm sweet and sexy. But anyway, I am responding to a blog on a website called Return of Kings. Now, some of the stuff on Return of Kings I agree with, some of it I don't, but it is one of the websites that I frequent. Anyway, this is by Donovan Sharp, and just for the record, Donovan Sharp is a black man. So when you're reading this, understand, black dude writing this. The article is called The Phenomenon of White Women Who Only Date Black Men. At the end of the article, he was asking for some feedback, and rather than being, just one of the many people commenting on it and just getting lost in the comments, I thought I'd go ahead and do this video response. Now, I'm going to be quoting a few lines from the blog, but other times I'm going to be summarizing. But anyway, he posits several theories and also goes into his personal experiences with dating white women. And the first one is, some white women who only date black men have low self-esteem issues. Any man, regardless of race, that will admit that white men are at top of the food chains in terms of sexual predilection. I have butchered that word. The matter of fact is that white dudes are pretty much every woman's type. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I mean, there are people who do prefer, like black dudes, or perhaps they want Asian dudes, or perhaps they just want Mexican dudes, whatever, Now, my theory as to why he says that white dudes are at the top of the food chain might be possibly due to the fact that, on average, the general stereotype is that white men typically earn more than black men do. I don't really know if that's true or not, on a per capita basis. But anyway, that's my theory as to why he's saying that. He doesn't really expound upon that. I'm just throwing that out there. Now, there are, black CEOs of companies there, and then of course you got, the athletes, the football players, the basketball players. Oh, they dominate the sport. He goes on to say this: a lot of white females who gravitate toward only black men likely have self-esteem issues on account of not being able to consolidate on, date for an extended period of time, or even have a one-night stand with a white dude. It could be lack of nurturing or encouragement from one or both parents during their childhood, or a combination of many factors. And if white men are not going to wife them up, then they will fulfill this need to go to the black guy, is summary of what he's saying here. And then he posits another theory, that white men are not masculine enough. And this, of course, is another stereotype. The stereotype is that, and this goes into a lot of what we see on TV, and particularly in like rap music and stuff like that, that the black dudes is like, oh, super big, buff, muscular, it's like super big black dude, right? And then, of course, the little, beta white males and all that. If you don't know what an alpha and a beta is, think of a dog pack. How one is always the top dog and then all the other dogs fall in line. That's what the alpha and betas are. So anyway, there are some dudes that are black that are alphas, just like there's some white dudes that are alphas. There's even Mexican dudes that are alphas. Asian dudes, all races have alphas and they also have betas. And you really see an alpha when they walk into the room, they have this aura around them. It's like, whoa. The problem doesn't discriminate because men of all races and nationalities in this part of the world, meaning the West, have been victimized by the effects of feminist culture. No matter their color, every man has been neutered by the scalpel of feminism. Wowzers. Okay, experimentation. We've all heard the saying, once you go black, you never go back. Darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, stuff like that. And then, of course, there's the old retort. Once you go black, you're a single mom. We've all seen these posts on the internet and stuff like that. And we have a chuckle. We just move on. But anyway, there are people that's like, I wonder what it's like to be with a black dude, or this dude, or that dude. And then, of course, there are people that's like, I wonder what it's like to be with a white guy, or just whatever, someone of another race. Now, a lot of this has to do, especially in my opinion, with black men, it has to do with pornography. Now, if you see pornography, the black men are stereotyped to all be like this, okay? That ain't real. Again, pornography is not real. There are white dudes that have this, and there are black dudes that have this. Now, on the whole, if you go to like your average locker room where everybody's showering together, you just take a look around at all the penises, which is not something I normally engage in case you're curious. It is not. But nevertheless, it's like, yeah, the black dudes are usually a little bit bigger, but they're not all like this. So get that thought out of your mind. Now, you can walk up to somebody and it's like, I have a ruler. I want to know before we continue this discussion, how big are you? Now, with men, it's a little bit easier. Say, as a man, you like big boobs. Well, you don't need a measuring tape. You can just see, I'm big boobs. There you go. Or maybe you're a butt man. For a foot guy like myself, it's a little bit harder. It's like I walk up to a woman, would you mind taking off your shoes? That pickup line has yet to work. I keep trying. Rebellion and attention. Now, this is largely a southern thing. Okay, you date outside your race in the South, it's like, wow, people are going to be looking at you. Now, some people crave this type of attention. And they don't care whether it's positive attention or negative attention. Some people might go, yay, or some people might go, ugh. And some people just crave the attention. They don't care whether it's positive or negative, or some people might say, I just want to rebel against my parents. I want to rebel against society. I just want to rebel. And so therefore I'm going to date outside my race. And this reminds me of a time when I was in high school. I briefly dated a girl who was from Mexico, and the Mexicans of the school, they hated me. I mean, we'd be walking down the aisles of the school there, and they would all be giving me the dirtiest look, and sometimes they'd be talking to each other in Spanish. They didn't know that I could understand them. You want to know what their word for me was? I swear, it was chango, which means monkey. I don't know why they called me monkey. Of all the things to call me, why monkey? But that was their word. And it stuck. They called me monkey. So anyway, or chango is what they called me. And there was this other dude that was also kind of got the hots for it. He was kind of trying to weasel me out. The only problem was I was twice his size. And it's not like fat. I mean, I was in pretty good shape. And he couldn't have been more than 4 feet tall. He was a tiny little thing. I mean, I could bend him in half. And sometimes he would just try to intimidate me. And I just couldn't help but laugh. I mean, it was so sad. But anyway, long story short, let's see. Well, I obviously didn't wind up with her. I wonder if he did. Or maybe she just found someone else. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, how high school dating things goes. You're in love 1 week, and then next thing you're off with somebody else. So that's neither here nor there. The final post that he posits, and this is the one he wanted some feedback on. Are white girls who date black guys off limits or contaminated? Now, there's a lot of people that are like this. Once you go outside the race, your race doesn't want you. They just like, whoo. And I think that's for every race. It's like nobody wants their daughter to date outside the race. I don't know. But anyway, for example, I mean, if a girl had a previous relationship with a black guy, it's like, would I date him? It's like, well, it all depends. Does the guy have a gun? Oh, bad. Boo, boo. On the whole, I do think there is a little bit of a double standard. Men who date outside their race are typically not frowned upon as much as the women who date outside their race, whether it's black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. And that's just from my own personal experience, and I'm sure you have your own experiences. But anyway, go ahead and give this guy some feedback, and of course you can also leave comments on this video if you like. Of course, the comments on this thing are moderated just because people keep posting my address. I wish I didn't have to do that, but I kind of don't want people knowing where I live. And there are people that like to post my address. Thank you, Corky. Love, you can really love anybody of any size, any color, really. Now, some people do have fetishes, and some people who say, I only date X, are typically, in my opinion, feeding a fetish. Whether it's I only date black people, or I only date fat people, or I only date people with big boobs, I only date people with big muscles, big tallywhackers, whatever it is, it's a fetish. Can it be low self-esteem? For some people, yes. It definitely can be. And we've all been with people that have self-esteem issues, whether they be male or female. However, when two people find each other, there can be happiness, and as long as two people love each other and they're both consenting, I don't see a problem with it. Anyway, I'm the HappyCabbie, and let me know what you guys think.